So I'm going to start a party and invite you. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what we're going to show you here is how to get a fair bit of money. I'm assuming it could be unlimited, I'm not sure. And yeah, for FS19, requires you to have your save set up first, and you want to be on the farm manager career mode, because that's the way it works the best. So you have your setup on your single player, as this save game is here, and then as soon as you start it, we'll go into multiplayer. That's how you get your money. Then you come back out into single player. You can use it in single player or go back into multiplayer, which I will show you. So we've got our save game. So what we'll do is we'll jump into multiplayer. Now you don't need to actually have anybody else come into multiplayer with you. You do it all by yourself. So we create game. We pick that save. Don't need any of those. Yes, we'll leave that with a password. It doesn't matter though. And it is all good. Let's do this.
Did you want me to come straight in, or?
No. No, I'll
Okay.
do this first bit without you. That's my darling wife for anybody who might be listening. And you all know her. Her name is Knickers. So yeah, it doesn't matter what map you do this on. Whatever map you want to do it, as far as I know, it will work. Oh, it was you with a comment. Thank you for that there.
Just making sure it's working.
Yep. Okay. So once we come into here, all we need to do is jump in here, make sure you are a part of... Actually, no, you don't even have to be a part of your own farm to do this little bit, but I think it's easier. But so you create the new farms. Now, you'll notice there that I've only got $1 million, not the 1.25 million, because the $250,000 is a loan. You get rid of that, otherwise you're just going to be stuck with it. So all you do is create the other farms, the whole lot of them. You don't need passwords, you don't need any of that stuff. So you just create farms. As you can see, they come up at 1.25, but if we jump in and be a part of that farm, switch over to our money section, our finances, you'll see we've got a $250,000 loan. So we'll repay that. Reason for this is when you save this out and use it as single player, the loan will transfer as well and you'll cop the loan. So you might as well get rid of it now. Then we go back to this screen here. You do the same for every single one. Create the farm. You can just create them all first. I didn't want to change that. Create.
Just so you know, golf cart's watching you.
Oh, hello, golf cart. I can't watch the chat because I need to put glasses on. That's frustrating to look across the screen at one telly, then look at the laptop, it's all blurry. Put my glasses on, if I then look at the screen over there, it's all blurry. Doesn't work. Okay. Oops. So for this to work, you just join a farm, go to the money screen, pay off the debt. Would Golf Cart like to join us in vocal chat?
I don't know. You'll have to let us know in the chat.
So all we're doing here, we do this with every single one, bring them back to $1 million. Once each of the 8 is at $1 million, then the magic happens. It's frustrating you can only repay $5,000 at a time. I'm going to get RSI. On Golf Cart, we've got some special bits for you. I recorded some bits earlier, but we can do it live and show you how to have fun with the others.
He's about to go and get his family out of bed, so he might not be on here for too long anyway, baby.
Yep, no worries. You can watch it later.
Yep.
Okay, so they're all down to $1 million. All right, so once everything's at $1 million, one thing you have to remember to do, I've turned off autosave, but you have to save before you exit the game at each step, otherwise it obviously isn't going to work. So we then just go to one of these later screens where save comes up, hit save, then hit quit. Then when we go to career, in single player, and we have a look at our save game, we've got $8 million. We can fire up that save game.
Just taking a few minutes.
Yeah, its loading's actually a little bit slow. I suppose it's got a lot to render and everything else. That's why I turned off the few mods, technically, that we've got. Special downloady bits for getting the
That's
PS4.
good, because I really don't know if I've got all the mods.
Yeah, I know, it's
So when
terrible.
I
It's
join your
massive mod
multiplayer.
list. Smart Alec. And I have tested this, and you can go backwards and forwards and do it as many times as you like. I don't know if there is a limit, if it will eventually break, but the thing is, though, if you're setting up to do a multiplayer, you can do this, and I'll show you that in a moment, and Nicole will have to come in with me to do that. But once you have other people in the multiplayer save their stuff, like do things, you can't do this again. Because what will happen is everything transfers to you once you start the save as a single player. You get all their equipment, you get all the land they bought, but then when you go back on there again, they don't get it back. So, yeah, it does break a multiplayer game to play that save back as a single player, but for you personally, you get everything, so it's not terrible. But we come into a single player game now, and in the top right corner, I have $8 million to start off. So, yeah. Then all we do, to make sure that $8 million stays there, we have to save the game again. Now this is frustrating to watch, but you know, you sit around, you figure these things out. So then I've saved the game. It'll have the $8 million as a single player game. Then I go back to multiplayer, create game, go back to that save again, click on it. Again, this works best in farm manager mode. I don't know the other ones. It would depend because they're loans and all that sort of stuff. You inherit the loans across, so it wouldn't work. Not the same way. And then we go in. Once we come in here, once you join your own farm, because you don't have any money at first, but once you join, you've got $8 million. You can then do it again and earn another $7 million on top of that, so you could come out with 15 if you do it twice. If, on the other hand, you want to share it with your friends, you set up their farms. Once there's a person on that farm, you can share money to them, so you can have more money to set up your multiplayer.
Which he'll show you shortly when I get on there with him.
Yep. But I'll show that it works again. I'll just do a couple. I'll make it a neat 10. So when we come in, at first it shows you as having nothing, but that's because I'm not part of a farm. Once I join the farm, you'll see that farm has $8 million. Once I start a new farm, and I hate how it does that. Come into, oh, I'm on the wrong one, I didn't swap. Oops. We'll swap to this one, go to the money page, pay off the loan. Because like I said, if you don't do this, when you exit and you inherit all the money, you also inherit the loan. So you do have to pay the loans off if you don't want to do that in a bulk thing later. So create another one, join that one, come back to here, pay the loan off. And that is that. Save the game. Quit the game. Go into career. Look at the save. I now have $10 million. So,
I mean, it's fussy, but it's no more fussy than doing the trick with the tractor on hard mode last time, so...
no, but if you do that for the whole lot, you get $7 million per time. So,
yeah.
How much fussy is worth $7 million? I'd do that much fussy for $7 million. Just need someone to give it to me.
Don't look at me. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine, babe.
Alright. Ah, what am I doing? Okay. Yeah, so like I said, we played around with it earlier, and I did notice when you buy something with one of the other farms, if you then quit out and restart as a single player on that save game, you wind up with all the equipment and all the land and everything else. But then when you restart that game as a multiplayer, you still just own it all with that first farm. And when you set up the other farms again, they have to start from scratch. But you could share the money out again, so if you really desperately needed to do it after you'd set up a multiplayer, you could get around it. Like sell some of the stuff back and they could buy it back from the system. I'll just make sure this. I have found if you come in to single player in between, for some reason it just locks it in better and makes sure that it doesn't lose it. Because first time I did it, when I went back to multiplayer, it hadn't saved it. But we'll go in and Nicole can join me this time.
Yep.
And we'll distribute the money across, and that should be right, I think. Nicole, I did it. So it should
Yeah,
come
you were doing
straight
it
in.
earlier.
Yeah, I set it all up ready to go. Excuse me. God, I love loading screens. I like that you're saying waiting for game host acceptance, and it's like, yeah, I'm not in yet, so I can't accept. All right. So once Nicole gets in here,
Now explain why you got a 0 balance up there.
right, I've got a 0 balance because I don't belong to a farm yet. So with the My Farm there, if I select that as mine, and a little trick that golf cart jockey needs to remember at this point in time, when you want to muck with others, put a password on your farm. Because if you don't do that, they'll get you back. So to do that, you simply hit square to edit farm, and then you can put in a password. And yeah, we won't do that for the moment, but if you do that, then others can't get in without knowing that password, except for the administrator. So if you're going to do any of this to Farmer Min, when you're playing with him, he will know you, because he can just override. He doesn't need the password. So yeah, I found that one out. So anyway, we'll start a new farm for Nicole. Look, it's blue, just like she likes. So she starts off with a bit of money, and she can join that farm if she remembers how to. Then I keep forgetting that when you first jump in, it's not on the one that's lit up. And then I will make her... So I can, now that Nicole is in that farm, I can transfer money to it. I don't need to make her a farm manager or anything like that. You can just get somebody in there to do that. But I'll make her a farm manager so she can pay off her own loan. But then I can just transfer to her
Done.
say 3 million, and we've found it doesn't show on this screen for me, but as soon as I move off the screen and come back again, it shows mine's down to 7 million, hers was up to 4. And yeah, so by doing the initial cheat and getting your amount up to what you want, you then share it around your different farms, and everybody starts with a decent amount of money. So that's basically it. That's the money cheat, if you want to call it that. I like the word exploit. It's a money exploit. So, Nicole.
Yes, my love.
Do you want to show Golf Cart what we found out about how we can muck with others and... Oh.
Hey, I can do that. Okay,
Do we have any
so
crops?
yes, there's that first one over there.
Oh, hang on. I need to buy something, don't I? Duh, would help if I own some land. Otherwise you can't really...
Well, you own those four, don't you, or not?
No. Not on this mode, you don't start with anything.
Righto.
So... I'll just buy that block there, because I think I can afford it.
Where's my tractor?
You need to go get one. Go buy one.
Okay. I didn't do this bit with you earlier, don't forget.
Oh, hang on, no, don't forget. Jump over into my save. Into my farm. So if you're to muck with them, Golf Cart, and they don't have a save on, if Nicole was to get a tractor now and come driving through this field, it wouldn't do anything. It doesn't do any damage. But if she were to buy a tractor, anything will do. Just make sure it's got wide tyres or something like that. Maybe I should have bought a block of land closer to the store. Did anything have crops in it near the store? Have it
Not that I
18.
saw. Maybe.
How about that one? What?
I currently don't have permission to buy it.
Okay, hang on. That's right. Oh yeah, so Because when you jumped across, you weren't...
Just make me a manager, baby.
Yeah. What did that do? Happened then?
Just sent you to a blue screen of death.
Yeah, I know. It had a glitchy. I don't know what that was all about. Alright. So go and check on that field that I got nearby. 18. What's that? What's its growth state at? It's ready to harvest, so you can make a mess out of it.
Okay.
Best
If I
bit
can
with
see
that,
past the trees.
like, luckily your driving skill's not on display because they're looking at my screen. I'm going to happen across your damage and the tractor parked there after you've bailed out. So good day,
Excellent. Yeah, I was just seeing where it was on the map.
I'll wander over there slowly and give you a bit of time.
Oh, thanks, babe. Whoa.
I'm coming. Not far
Okay.
away. Just abandon it. Remember, you got to jump out of the tractor and jump out of, swap back across your own farm.
Yeah.
Just stand near it so that you can stay near the tractor so you can prove that you can't get in it. So this is the fun bit of this is I come across my field, if I can find where the damage is, see all this damage and think, who on earth has done this? And I find my darling wife and say, did you do that? And she walks over the tractor and says, no, I can't get in. Have a look. She says, it's your tractor. And I go,
I'm trying.
it is too. It's my tractor. So, yeah, that was just something we thought somebody cheeky that we play games with might be able to use to annoy some of his fellow friends.
But now his friends know about it too.
True. Didn't think of that. Well, we did, but we did. We just thought, but see, so Golf Cart knows, and any of the others, my farm, if you ever join me, will have a password on it, and you won't figure it out. And you won't coax it out of my darling wife either, because she won't know. Speaking of my wife, is there anything else you wanted us to show them? Or we should read
Oh, look at
maybe
that.
and
It
see.
actually came. It came up on the
Sorry, Golf Cart. But then again, they might not be watching.
watching.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
it doesn't
They
actually
might
tell
not
us.
bother.
Besides, it helps you protect your own farm from others, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, just remember that. Set passwords, especially if you think somebody's going to muck around with your stuff. But it is a bit of fun. The money side of it is quite interesting.
I'm more likely to jump across to your farm to steal your horses than damage your
Yeah,
crops, though.
true.
You know this.
The only problem seems to be when you jump from farm to farm, unless you're the admin, you don't get your farm manager back unless it's given to you. So if you're admin, if you're hosting, you can do that to all the others. They can put passwords on, it doesn't matter, you can get past them. So best to be the admin is the general rule for that one.
So Golf Cart's going to get there now and say, no, I
Yeah,
want to be the boss.
that's right, Golf Cart. You need to host and then you can just stuff with everybody as much as possible. So, yeah, if my darling wife or anyone in chat, the whole person
Yeah.
watching, doesn't want to see anything else, we're probably done.
Golf Cart said I'm the host. Got it. So
Yep.
is there anything you want to see that we've might have worked out as well, or otherwise we'll just sign off now and let you all go back to your lives? We'll wait and see.
Yeah, we have a few watching, they're just not chatting.
Yeah, that's fair
Now
enough.
that we're experienced with this whole live stream thing, this is
Our
the
second.
second one I've ever done. The first one was a test, so. But we just thought we'd check this out and show you a couple of little tricks we figured out. Because we've had this game for a whole, wow, it's nearly a day now. But I was going to stream the release here in Australia of this game, but unfortunately it was blocked because obviously they didn't. We are thinking about it, Golf Cart. We're thinking about doing it because, just for fun, really. Our setup here, because we're in the lounge room, it's difficult to do like talking through normal videos. And I thought with streaming, you're just talking, you're talking to people that chat and talking to each other. So it's a bit more natural and we can probably carry it off. So I think it may well happen. Nicole's starting to get into 19 and we're starting to find some little fun bits with it. So I reckon it might happen. I was trying to get her to buy the
Mud Runner.
no. Oh, the one Farmer Mim wants to see. Goat Simulator. I was going to do a special Goat Simulator stream just for Farmer Min.
You can blow that out your backside.
She watched me play it. She thought it was hilarious. She loves it.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. I'm going now before he insults me any further.
Oh, don't be like that. Anyway, that's it for now. We'll come up with some ideas. We'll chat with the guys and we'll see if we can figure out some other bits and pieces that are fun to show off. And yeah, we'll definitely do some more of this, I think. So basically, bye for now from those of us here in Australia. And everybody have a good day, evening, morning, whatever it is for you guys. It would help if I press the correct buttons.